be a visual masterpiece, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
give it that. I'll definitely give it that. Will the will it make sense to us? We don't know. We have till October. We don't know what's gonna happen. They may
That's
even
true.
give us a better trailer. Who knows? But to put it in plainly, if you're setting this thing real world time, right? How does that look? It has nothing to do with Robert Pattinson's Batman. It has nothing to do with what Jim Gunn is doing with his version. This is a, as he put it, Elseworlds. It's a
Yeah.
different thing. It's a different beast. The Batman mythos may not even come into play.
True.
And it should, nor should it. This should be it right here. You don't need to go on. You really didn't need to go after the first one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So, but once again, we just have to
I'm I'm wondering what movie they're going to be spoofing on this one, because we all know that the original Joker was very much close to the Kings of Comedy show
Yeah.
movie. Excuse me. It seems like they're harkening back to that a little bit in this trailer, as well as I'm noticing some of the costumes are from Dark Knight Returns,
Hmm.
or in the Dark Knight Returns, because he's got the pure white suit,
Hmm.
which he dies in that suit in that book. I don't think he's going to die in this one because they're really hoping this makes $1 billion like the first one, so we can get a third one.
Yeah, although he did,
Which
although
will
White Knight,
eventually, I guarantee, you have some form of Batman, or if it were me, the Gray Ghost. But that's just me.
I mean, he did die. He did die in the white suit and white in Joker White Knight, so I could see that. But um, like Chris said, I know nobody asked for this. That being said, could it still be a watchable movie? Yes,
Yes.
it could be. Lady Gaga, as I've said on other podcasts, she's a great singer. She actually can act. She's actually got a lot of great acting. I mean, look at House of Gucci. She
Yeah.
killed that role. So, can I see her playing a Harley Quinn? Yes. Is it different than the initial origin stories that we do know of Harley Quinn and Joker? Yes.
I have thoughts on that actually.
Go for it.
I don't think it is that far away. I've watched this trailer like 3 times now. The scene where she's drawing the lipstick on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there glass between them? What situations are there where there's glass between an inmate and another person?
Right.
She's on the other side because I think at that point she's the psychologist. I think they're going to tell the story of Joker breaking her down, so she's on the other side of the glass, and that's when they meet and they actually start to really break out of Arkham. So I do think that this is actually going to be her origin story.
So the trailer is more of a switch and bait type of thing.
Yes.
If you're not paying attention, which is I think that's why they're getting people pissed off.
Different scenes put out of order to make you think one thing.
Like him walking past the room and seeing her amongst the other patients doing whatever it is that they're doing, and then ending with that last. I can see that. I can see them telling it the other way around, like because the trailer is going to just show it out of order. I can see that.
I got a crazier idea. What if Harley Quinn is an imagination figure in Joker's head?
They wouldn't.
I don't.
Pull that trick.
Yeah, they already did that. Yeah, I don't think they do it twice. I think what it might be is maybe more of her influence on his mind.
Yeah.
Than anything else. I don't think she's a figment of his imagination.
It's a twist, but that's my guess. What are you gonna say, Joe?
I think we're also assuming, since this is Harley Quinn, that she is a psychiatrist. We don't know what she is in this world. My take on this is that she's a patient that gets released mid-movie, and they have a brief whatever meeting or encounter, and then they just become fixated on each other, and that last scene is her leading a normal life, and then getting him out, and them going on whatever spree they're on afterwards. But I think the opening, or just my thing, is she's been there longer. She's been there, and then she leaves and gets like, you're free to go, or holds it together long enough to where she can get out to visit him to bust him out.
I can see that.
I don't know if like we're for sure getting the psychologist Harley Quinn, but we're definitely getting something where she's able to leave Arkham before he is.
Yeah. So, Chad, does this make you want to watch it? No? Okay. I figured I'd ask. Figured I'd ask. Just get your opinion. But go ahead.
I can't even watch the first Joker movie, then why watch this one?
Fair point. You did not get to see the first Joker movie for good reason. So you're exactly right. Even though it's weird that you're making logic on that, yeah, you watch Five Nights at Freddy's. But anyway,
That's a kid's movie.
I mean, their kids' movies have changed. I was like, but then again, I watched Child's Play as a kid, so does that tell you?
Yes, but a 80s PG is today's R.
That is very true.
Yeah.
But anyway, outside of that, guys, we do have one last trailer before we get to Fallout, because again, I want to know everybody's opinions on that, and then we'll get into the massive news that is CInemacon. So,
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 1 did release a character for a new fighter that I did not think they were going to do. They brought back Ermac. Here's the trailer.
You have shamed the souls of your ancestors. Which of my ungrateful kin are within you? Fight.
You might be many, but I am the one.
You are not even Earthrealm's champion.
You've changed since we first met.
We believe for the better.
Oh,
Finish him. Fatality. Ermac wins.
Just want to play the game even more.
What?
absolutely not.
As you can see, guys, that was the trailer for Ermac for Mortal Kombat 1. He will be available 4 days from now if you have the Premium Edition of Combat Pack. What do you mean you want to play with him?
Absolutely. No.
I want to play with Ermac. You know what? I want to play Mortal Kombat 1. I played Mortal Kombat 11.
I am so going to rewatch. Go ahead and go back to your
I
watch
also
history.
played Gears of War with my dad.
Well, I know you played Gears of War, but anyway, so
Well, then
Ermac,
play it.
what do you say, Kira?
He might as well play it
I mean, at
if
this
that's
point,
the case.
yeah, I mean, at this point, but Ermac is going to be available. I guess quick thoughts around the room. Ermac's not my favorite player, but I'm pretty sure he's a favorite of some. I'm still waiting for one if he ever does do it. But what you got, Joe?
Oh no, he is one of my favorite. I named him in MKXL.
Mhm.
I was mad they didn't put him in Mortal Kombat 11 real well. They neutered the crap out of him. I was not happy. This one does make me interested if I ever get around to getting the game. Also, I noticed that that gameplay video looked like a little bit faster than what MK1 usually is running at. So I'm unsure if that is just the gameplay trailer itself or if they
It's-
actually sped up the game a little bit because, they're always making changes. Lord knows Tekken made
That's
some
probably
changes
more
and
than
didn't
that's
have to
probably
look
more
so
the
bad.
gameplay trailer than anything else. That's probably more a
Okay.
gameplay trailer. Because let's be honest, just like most commercials, it doesn't look good at the restaurant. It always looks good on television. I'm looking at you, Wendy's.
Look at you, Raisin Cane.
Ugh.
Raisin cane, that's only the cane sauce. But Joe, Kira, I'm sorry, Chris, Kira, anything y'all want to add to that?
Nah.
Of course,
No.
He's a ninja. He's red.
Of course, my son has said that he's already picked his favorite character, and I'm concerned. Anyway, speaking of
Ermac and Omni-Man.
Omni-Man, okay, I can give you that. But
Ermac, Omni-Man, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero.
wait. Before I move on to this, Scorpion or Sub-Zero? Are you Lin Kuei or are you Shirai?
They're both
Lin Kuei,
the
my
same
guy.
thing now.
You're Lin Kuei?
Yeah.
You can leave now.
Okay.
No, sit on down, boy. Lin Kuei.
No honor whatsoever until Kuai Liang takes over.
Lin Kuei. This is a Shirai house. We are a house of the fire garden, sir. Anyway,
We're the house that gets taken out by an air conditioner, pretty much.
Lin Kuei. That being said, as my son destroys my hopes of passing on the mantle. Anyway, the last thing we got, guys, before we get to the CinemaCon news, like I said, it's lots. However, another show did come out 2 days early. I am talking about Fallout. If you have not seen it, again, we're not. I'm going to be honest about this because it's only been out for 2 days. It's 8 episodes. Life be lifing. But we're not going to go into details of it because, again, not everybody has had the chance to watch this. We don't want to be those people that spoil it for you. We will give our impression. We will give our impressions of it. But again, this is going to be a no spoilers on this. Now, a week from now, when I want to revisit this and really see what they did with the first season, open season. But for tonight, I'm just going to go around the room and ask everybody what they thought of Amazon's latest series. So I'll start with Kira first because Kira sent me a detailed, wonderful message on Instagram. So I'm going to start with her.
I would like to preface this by saying by virgin eyes, ears, brain is me. I have not seen a YouTube video. I have not. I know Nuka-Cola when I see it, but that's because I go to Comic-Cons. Outside of that, I know literally nothing about this universe at all. I'm fully invested. I'm up to episode 4. I am invested in this. I was explaining when I first talked to Will about it, I was like, I like it, but I don't know why. And then like 30 seconds later, I realized this is Game of Thrones. This is Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Once I attached it, it's got too much lore. It's got different factions. It's not too much for me, but I'm saying like if you are invested, this is a lot to take in. You've got to be committed. Different factions. Everybody's kind of a bad guy. Everybody's potentially a good guy. Yeah, this is I'm in zombies very much. Thank you.
Captain, what about you?
I like it a lot. I'm on episode 3. And I'm just like, oh, this is all types of fun. I'm all in for this one. Matter of fact, no, I think I'm done with 3.
Okay.
I just didn't get to 4 yet because I'm going to do this con this weekend. Yeah, I have no complaints. I'm thoroughly enjoying. I'm just like, Walter Goggins once again.
That man's
Bang
in
up
everything,
job.
but he's
Bang up job.
Oscar or Emmy or a something. There's no reason this man. It's nauseating.
It is.
I was like, oh, you were only going to be a good guy for so long. I know that.
Man. Joe, what about you?
War never changes, and neither does my feelings on Fallout. This was enjoyable for about 2/3 of it. This
Okay.
power armor kid who's badly photoshopped, they need to do something with him a little bit quicker because Lucy and the Wanderer had my attention, and this guy just kind of like just screamed and cried most of the time to me. I really do want him to be better. I mean, he seems like he's going to be fun. The trailers kind of spoiled some things to me, but just like his story was not as good as the Wanderer and Lucy's story. Just based off the first episode. I've only been on episode 1, so that's where my feelings are right now, just on Maximus.
I was
I-
definitely
I'm sure
Maximus.
it'll
I
get
kept
better.
singing.
I was in the same boat as you, Joe. I can assure you, things change.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen clips of stuff because my wife has watched the entire thing. But
No, but really, this is like very badly photoshopped.
yeah, the Maximus, I was just like, this guy gets his ass kicked a lot, doesn't he? I know it'll change because he can't get his ass kicked every episode. I'm like,
I will say this just because I am a Fallout fan since the original. I have played every Fallout game, although New Vegas and 76 are my favorites. And again, I'm on the opposite of the spectrum where Kira is. Kira has said she has never played Fallout, never played any of the games, never read any of the lore. And it's like I said in my IG post, if you're a Fallout fan, you're going to love it just because there is so many Easter eggs, so many things that once you do learn more about the lore, you'll go back and watch all the episodes and you'll start pointing out stuff. And of course, at the end, I love the direction it's going in that sets up the next season because Amazon has already greenlit a season 2. So if you make it to episode 8, I love what they're going with it. Definitely some WTF moments because I said this before. If you've never played Fallout, there are a lot of WTF moments. So again, it's the same thing here, but I put Fallout in the same sense as The Boys, as Gen V. I put it in that frame just because it is such an interesting story, and I love what they've done with the characters. It makes you want to watch it. So again, if you have watched Fallout, guys, let us know in the comments what you think. Again, no spoilers. At some point, maybe a week or 2 weeks from now, we may come back to it and give our full thoughts on it and go into it and what we might think for season 2. But it sounds like from the round table, we all agree that Fallout is definitely worth watching. So if you have not yet, I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
One thing, if you're a Fallout fan, you know that the Doctor's in there somewhere because every Fallout game has the TARDIS in it somewhere. So if you watch season 1, try to see if you can spot a TARDIS somewhere.
Yeah, fair
No,
point.
seriously?
Every Fallout game has a Doctor Who reference in some way, shape, or form.
Because
the first 2 games, the TARDIS is actually there. I think the third game, a TARDIS is underneath the water.
Yeah.
Crested over.
So because the guy, one of the Bethesda game directors, is a big Doctor Who fan. So just like in the video games, you'll also see it in the series. Because you just have to go. If you go back and see it, you'll see what Joe's talking about. Because it's all there's always
just go to Google or go to YouTube and look Doctor Who moments in Fallout.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I might have seen something. I feel like I might have seen something already, but I'll go back and watch it later.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Like I said, great series. So, with that being said, the last things that we have, guys, before we get to comic book polls is CInemacon. Why? Because CInemacon did happen this week, and on Thursday, well, the floodgates opened, and my rewrites for this show went 5 or 6 times, as the others in here can tell you that I was pretty much just saying F the news slate because news was coming out every 5 minutes. So with that being said, we're going to start with the first one. Robert Downey Jr. has sat there and told everybody that if asked, keep in mind, he said if asked whether or not he would return to the MCU in the future. He says, quote unquote, happily, it's too integral a part of my DNA. That role chose me. And look, I always say never, ever bet against Kevin Feige. It is a losing bet. He is the house. He will always win. So, because I know a while back on Blurred's Eye View, we had this discussion that if Robert Downey Jr. did come back, how would that fit in the current MCU? I pose that same question now.
I think I know how.
Really? How, Chad?
If I'm thinking correctly, if my brain is working the way it should be,
Okay.
then I'm guessing they might go AI Stark.
Well, I mean, that's a possibility, considering the fact he was no longer with us on the mortal plane. So that's one way to look at it. Guys, if Robert Downey Jr. does come back, I mean, does this change the way that Ironheart is set up? Does it change the way we do Secret Wars? Thoughts?
My thing is, if we're dealing, and like Chad said, I was on that train before because we've seen this happen. Like, download his consciousness on AI. He's been dealing with Ultron, and he's got a Friday and everything else. Why not? Why wouldn't he? It just makes some sense, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna just use the AI theory. He downloaded a part of him and Bruce used part of their, not their consciousness, but their brain patterns to create Ultron, right?
Right.
And that did not work. What Tony does, if you watch every version of every appearance he has, he learns from the past appearance. So his past mistake. So he creates something to stop that said mistake. Why wouldn't he say, okay, maybe my brain pattern wouldn't work. Maybe I should create an AI version of myself. That way I know it's not going to corrupt anything. It's me. Why wouldn't he do that? And then there's the other theory. They're dealing with the multiverse.
Yeah.
Infinite number of possibilities with Tony Stark.
That is also true.
So there's two ways to go about it. I'm prone to. I'll go with the AI version, especially if you're dealing with Ironheart. That she's reverse engineering this stuff, and of course she's going to come across something.
Yeah,
she might unlock something that no one else has been able to unlock. They're still doing Armor Wars, so
are they though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Armor Wars is still a thing.
It's still a thing.
Armor Wars and Ironheart.
Okay,
Ironheart. I think they're both done. Actually,
they're both. They have both finished post production. They're just pretty much sitting on a shelf right now.
Yeah.
So they're not Batgirl status, but they're in that ballpark. But I think they're going to move forward. They are going to move forward with releasing them. But I'm with Chad on this one. If Tony Stark does, if Robert Downey Jr. does reprise the role of Tony Stark, do we see alternate MCU Iron Man? Do we see the AI of Tony Stark? The possibilities there are endless, and considering the fact that Chris Evans also said that he would come back to the MCU, we can also see an alternate Captain America. We can also see
Colonel America.
Yeah, we could.
We really good. Not Hydra I'm okay.
Somehow, some way they can do it. You know, the Captain America video game that's coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe they could use that somehow.
Well, that would be good. It would be good promotion for 1964. You're right. It would be good promotion. You could bring back a Cap story that is set in an alternate universe where, let's just say, the Red Skull's a little bit farther along. You could put him there.
And they're also doing a Fantastic Four movie that's set in 1960s. So maybe they could do something like that.
Shh.
That's in the main MCU. So at that point, Steve's on ice.
Yeah. Technically, that is true. He would be on ice around the time of the Fantastic Four, so that is a fair point. But no, I'm not against it. Like I said, with all of them coming back, you could do Secret Wars properly. You could really do a lot of different storylines, honestly. But I don't think anybody's disappointed that Robert Downey Jr. wants to come back. I don't think anybody's saying. Because let's be honest. He is Iron Man. It's like Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. You cannot see anybody else playing that role but him. Could we honestly see anybody else than Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark?
No, but my friend from school did say that somehow, some way, Chris Pratt would be able to play Iron Man.
Chris Pratt playing Iron Man.
I need you to find better friends, baby. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Some people just want to see the world burn. It's fine.
Next birthday, he is not allowed to the McDonald's caboose.
Right. Like I said, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But that's not the only news we got. It's okay. But aside from that, what you say, Joe?
Kira, what's your take on the Tony Stark thing?
I've got like a lean towards maybe a mix of the two.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Tony from another universe come in and help Ironheart build the AI, and he's already got his voice there to guide her with whatever it is that she needs, I feel like that would be a much better fit. He's younger. He's can relate to her a little bit better. He's open enough to take in her thoughts and ideas, and she can kind of identify with him. He's not the family man yet. He can devote more of his time to her, and she helps him grow again into this different direction, so that when he goes back to whatever universe he's in, maybe he marries Pepper or whoever the hell it is,
right.
Or he does what he does in the comics and doesn't marry anybody really.
That's
but
go ahead.
That's my thought. It just a blend of the two. That seems a little bit more realistic. That way he can come in, dip, and sort of linger as a ghost voice, and then go about his business. He only has to put in one job.
Fair enough.
Then somebody else can do the voiceover work, which is what they've been doing anyway.
My version actually does deal with the end of the Marvels, as we do know that the X-Men in the universe are supposed to be the Fox animated version of the X-Men, I believe. We already see that their Miss Marvel is Photon, so there's no reason we can't get 90s Fox animated mullet Stark and just have Robert Downey Jr. in the long mullet as Iron Man. That would also salvage Sydney Sweeney's career as Julia Carpenter. Well, no, actually, is Sydney Sweeney? Yes. Sydney Sweeney's Julia Carpenter. So that would definitely salvage her thing. She would be in an actual MCU movie because they were the love interest in that old animated thing.
That's also true.
Plus, we can tie into the Mandarin and bring that around to Shang-Chi again.
Yeah,
so we can start pulling from the Fox universe or the X-Men universe.
Yeah, but we need to do the Mandarin properly because Iron Man 3 did not.
But he did do the Mandarin properly. He's the main villain in Shang-Chi.
Yeah. And I'll take that over anything.
The Mandarin,
over Terrence Slattery.
Okay, the Mandarin in Shang-Chi, I'll give that. But I'm talking about, you know what? You
cannot do the comic book Mandarin because that leads too heavily into yellow fever Mandarin.
Why not?
Because it's just too touchy of a subject. It's too it's too close.
I'll answer with this, and I don't want to be rude about this. It's for the same reason we can't get M'Baku in his original gorilla costume.
However, they can pick and choose what they want to be sensitive about because they're bringing in the Israeli Captain America chick. So
no, I thought they nixed it.
I thought so too, and apparently not.
Nope. And that's the reason. And that's the reason why I said what I said. If you can, again, I don't mind the 8 costume, but that's a discussion I will table for another day because I didn't really see anything wrong with it. But the other things that we did see from CInemacon, by the way, if you believe this with a grain of salt, because this was a screenshot, and I apologize, guys. I wish I could make this bigger. I wish I could make this bigger. So I apologize. I'm just going to read it if you guys can't see it. So
you not open it to the window?
Yeah. So with the Walt Disney Studios, they gave a theatrical release schedule. They said that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I'm surprised is another movie, comes out May 10th. Disney's Young Woman in the Sea comes out May 31st. Kinds of Kindness, June 21st. Inside Out 2, June 16th. Deadpool Wolverine, July 16th. Alien Romulus, August 16th. A Real Pain, October 18th. Disney's Moana 2, November 27th, and Mufasa, The Lion King, comes out December 25th on Christmas Day. So, again, this is just a screenshot of what was seen at CInemacon. You're pretty much taking this with a grain of salt. If we're looking at this as the actual thing, how do we feel about this?
I have been and always will be here for Deadpool. That is the end of discussion.
Thank you, Tafara. Thank you, Tafari. The speaker says, "Remember, we own everything." Remember, we own everything.
Welcome to my TED Talk. I have nothing more.
I mean, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one, Cap. To me, it's Deadpool Wolverine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure Inside Out 2 will be great. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, sorry about that one. I do enjoy a good Pixar film. So there's that.
Yeah. Alien Romulus, I'll give that a shot just because I love what they did with the trailer. Mufasa, The Lion King. Do not get me wrong. Do we need another Lion King movie? And do we really need to see the upcomings of Mufasa just because? Also, shout out to Nick. So, do you speak geek? You lucky SOB for getting to interview a legend. And you and Chris handled that pretty freaking well, by the way. I just want to shout you guys out and be extremely jealous of you, but well done.
Interview.
Because
you're on the crew. It's not like it won't happen again.
I know, but it's just the fact that he was just right there, and I just like he kept on going from Uncle Ruckus to Mufasa. That was
he is a runaway train.
Yes, he is. But again,
I don't see why we're getting a Mufasa movie.
Say what again, Joe?
I don't see why we're getting a Mufasa movie. That doesn't scream to me exciting writing. I'd rather see the Scar movie. I want to see why he descended into madness and got exiled. From
that makes a good story.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, that makes a good story.
Yeah. I mean, we want to see why Scar's ornery. I'll give him that. I mean,
it's the same. It's the same with Little Mermaid. We want to see that Ursula going from good to bad. We haven't gotten that yet. But
what was the reason?
what was
the reason?
We needed that story.
The one thing I'll say about Disney, I wish they would do. You have this whole area to where you can do the villain side of the story and make a movie out of it. That's just me.
When they did Maleficent, when they did Cruella, I was just like, okay,
wow.
Cruella's
not bad. This just wasn't that high on the radar, but Maleficent,
was great. And you told the story from a villain view, but again, we understand.
Angelina, but she knows how to just exude queen.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
Look at the chat. We got our Ryback bot.
Yeah, that's you, sir. You're gonna have to boot him from your side. That's on you. But yeah, it's just crazy as far as villains movies. I'm like, those to me would be perfect if you could. But I'm not against it. Like I said, Inside Out, I think it's a great thing. It's a really focus on mental health, really movie. So I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And really, it's just I'm not mad about Disney, but like Tafari said it best, they pretty much put their release dates out there and said, we own all your entertainment. We could shut it off anytime we wanted to. Run your pockets.
There's only 3 movies I want to go see. I honestly don't want to go see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. First of all, y'all need to cut down the goddamn titles.
How many times is
this is one of them situations where I will stand on this hill and die on this hill. When you have a franchise, you do not want to wait past 5 years, really, to drop the next one.
Yeah.
Because the iron has cooled now. You don't care anymore.
No.
Your attention has been drawn somewhere else. So when you say we have more story to tell, why didn't you drop this 3 years after that?
Right.
Now here, it's well over. It's been 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah. At least it's a little over 10 years. You're right.
Yeah. See, and this is the problem. Like Sin City. Sin City is a great. I've read those novels. They're great. Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, great.
Yeah.
But how long did they wait? 10 years to give you Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. By that time, the nostalgia is worn off.
Yeah. Nobody's really interested in seeing it. Really and truly. But I'll leave it at that though, just because Disney has shown us what they will do. We know Deadpool, Wolverine. July cannot come fast enough, especially with the news that we've heard. But other news, again, like I said, Friday was We're Throwing Everything Day. Even though we know a game for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin is coming out, they've been teasing it. However, they have told us that a movie is in the works for The Last Ronin, and it will be rated R.
Can we go see it?
This has to be streaming only.
Next time, don't ask on recorded media what we can go see. So we're offline, Chad.
Write it in the chat.
He said,
Your mom,
have I touched you nothing?
Oh, you didn't hear that.
your mom is listening,
You
sir.
didn't hear that.
Yeah,
This has
it's
to
too
be
late
streaming
now.
only.
I mean, he's got
no
2 years.
There's no way they could put this
Or
in
1
the
year.
theater because they will not make money in the theater.
See, that's the thing. I was looking into this. They haven't said. Like, I was kind of seeing if it is going to be streaming, it's going to be on Paramount Plus, obviously. But they just said that it's in the works. It is going to be produced, but it is going to be R-rated, which again I love. It's going to remain in tune with the comic, but they didn't say. And I was checking. Trust me, I was checking yesterday and today to see if it really was going to go to the theaters or if it's going to go to streaming. It could go either or. But are we? Are we happy about this? Because I know you are. But again, sir, we're on recorded media. You can't say it.
I'm reading that second paragraph, and there's one thing that gives me great pause, and it's Walter Hamada.
Oh,
yep,
God.
that he is a part of it. He is going to be a part of the production. And for all those that don't know, Walter Hamada is like the Claw of Warner Brothers.
I am not enthused anymore. I literally, my whole face changed.
This makes all the sense now. This makes complete
Well,
because we said this in our
good.
chat. We said this in our chat when we got this news, and me and Mayhem said it. It was like, why aren't we getting? What version of this are we getting? Right? What iteration of the Turtles are we getting? Because the last live action version we got was with Stephen Amell and Megan Fox, and people were posting it and they were using that visual, and that's going to cause confusion. Because if that's not the iteration you're using, why aren't we getting a 2 to 3 movie build up to
That's
this?
fair.
Why are you skipping?
Yep.
To go to that end where it's going to cause too many problems. Because it's going to cause way too many problems.
He's doing the same thing that he did with all of the DC comics.
Yeah,
they barely did any story building in that world.
Well, I'll be as optimistic as I possibly can. I am hoping that Walter Hamada is just producer in name only. I hope that he has no fingerprints on this, albeit evidence and other things that has his name on it would say otherwise. But because The Last Ronin is such a great story, it is such a great comic, I am hoping, because we have a video game that's coming out, that I hope great care is taken with this, because whatever happens with this movie is definitely going to affect that game. And it could also prevent that game from actually being released if it's that bad, if it bombs. So I'm hoping, like I said before, he's only a name only. If he is, great. But Kira, I get it. You see his name, and immediately you're just like cringing. You're having flashbacks. It's like, oh no, it's Michael Bay all over again. I get it. I really do get it. And like Chris said, we don't know what iteration of the Turtles we're getting. I mean, we don't know if we're getting the 80s that we're used to. We're not sure if we're getting the more modern 2000s with TMNT. We're not sure if we're getting the Nickelodeon versions. We're not sure. What were you going to say, Kara?
I think it's going to be strictly the IDW origin story.
Okay.
I have to do my research. So I was reading about it today. I think it's going to be strictly the IDW story. I think it's going to be, I'm trying to remember because there's like 18 origin stories now. I'm trying to remember which one is the right one. But IDW, I think, is a little bit more clear cut. I think they're going to have it be the reincarnation story.
Yeah.
So you have the two Foot Clan soldiers the
Mhm.
one that dies, and then they reincarnate with the son and the what is it? The father and the four sons reincarnate into Splinter and the Turtles. I think
Yeah,
it's that version. That and they're going to go through those sets of comics. I don't think they're going to touch the movies. I don't think they're going to touch any of the Nickelodeon stuff. 'Cause I believe that's a separate time period because Nickelodeon bought it from Mirage
Mhm.
from 2009 to present.
Yep.
So
Right.
I think IDW overlaps a little bit, but not much between. I think Mirage. I don't know anymore.
But you might you might have a point. The fact that it is going by the idea of IDW. I have to say it because my tongue does this. But if it does go by that storyline, I'm okay with it. But like I said, I hope if DC is smart, because I know Gunn has nothing to do with this. I kind of wish he did, but if DC is smart, hopefully the marketing behind this will learn. I hope. It's a lot of hoping, but I hope. But Joe, I'm gonna throw this at you because part of CInemacon did give us news about the Thunderbolts. What
I
news?
still want to talk about the Turtles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Chad also had something too, so go ahead first, Chad.
Oh, so if this movie does get the green light to go, I'm either hoping for the 80s one
Mm-hmm.
because that was just seemed pretty cool to me,
Okay.
or the 2000s, like not like the CGI ones that didn't do well.
Not the Michael Bay ones with the overgrown turtle.
Oh, the Michael Bay ones with where
so you like
Master
that?
Splinter looks like Raticate.
He's not
I
wrong.
got
I'm questioning. I have questions for you after the show.
You got questions. His watch list is going to be under surveillance. But Joe, what you got?
So the R rating leads me to believe that this is going to be streaming only because you cannot put a Ninja Turtles movie in theaters and rated R. That will cut out its legs out from underneath it because it is a widely known child's property.
Go ahead.
Was it originally supposed to be for adults?
Yes.
It wasn't originally supposed to be for
comic,
adults,
yeah.
but that has been diluted to the point where it is only now existed as a child's property more than it has an R-rated property. Like, even the movies have shifted away from adult things. We got one proper Mirage Turtles, which is the original movie, and then everything else has been more child-friendly.
But at the same time, The Last Ronin is not really a child's story.
It is not.
No.
It doesn't matter. It contains the words Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
True. But at the same time,
children are going to be wanting to see this, and they will not take that money loss.
Same thing with Deadpool.
And Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I'm just saying, thank you. Blood and Honey is another one, even though nobody asked.
Where did
for
Blood
that.
and Honey come out first? Theaters or streaming?
Theaters.
That came in theaters.
That came in
All
theaters.
of them are going to the theaters.
I did not see it advertised once, and I have not seen it any theaters posted.
But that's what we're saying, though. It's just like they're doing a Mickey Mouse horror movie that's going to be in theaters. That alone tells you that I do not see Nickelodeon giving them the green light to put an R-rated Turtles movie in theaters. But it's Paramount.
Yeah, it's not
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So if Paramount, that's what I said. If Paramount decides that we're going to put this to theaters, Nickelodeon really can't say spit. That's their boss. They own the rights. So it's like if they choose to push the movies, either
I don't see it going to theaters. I see it going to streaming, or at the very least, it'll be an art house or a limited run. But I don't see it going nationwide or anything.
See, that's going to be the true test, though.
Is it a project I'm willing to watch? Of course. It's
yeah.
the Ninja Turtles. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
However, once again, it still goes back. How are you telling this story? Like, how are you are you spending a majority of this film telling flashbacks?
Yeah.
Which can be dangerous if it's not told correctly, because now
Right.
you're telling a rushed form of how we got here.
Right. So that's the thing. Like, that's where I'm saying that it can be great if done properly, but again, The Last Ronin is not a children's story. It really isn't. But let's be honest, how many R-rated movies have we been into and kids have always found their way inside? That's all I'm saying. If you
Young
see
man,
Dead,
As for
like,
what
I'm kidding.
turtles I would put in there, I would put in the old. I would put in the.
may or may not have seen both.
oh, you already told on yourself, so you might as well go on. Come on back up here. You already told on yourself.
We don't talk about our pirate upbringings.
Yeah, you already told on yourself with Deadpool, sir. So you might as well go on and pull yourself on up.
All right,
I mean, but it's, we know Deadpool is like Dave Chappelle said, we know, but really, it's just,
I mean, like, look, we all, like I said, I made a joke about the fact that even Deadpool said, "You're really bringing your kids to see this movie? You know it's R-rated, right? That's
why they had to make a PG-13 movie.
I mean, true. So, I mean, again, this is mass speculation until we actually get confirmation, and it can go both. It honestly can go either way. It really is.
As for which version of the turtles I would use the new one. Yes, Chad.
What you got?
I would do it like this. If they're doing what I think they're doing, then they're probably gonna start off with you know how
I think I'm gonna hate myself for asking this question. Have you read The Last Ronin?
Yes.
Will, where's your comics, Will? Where do you let your comics hang out, Will? I don't understand, Will. How could you possibly think that your child would not want to be attracted to a book full of images, Will?
Why am I being interrogated? You hush. Why am I being interrogated? Anyway.
You left the gun on the counter, Will. You left the gun on the counter.
Anyways, as I was saying, if it was up to me, I would be using the New Line Cinema Turtles.
Fair enough. But it's one of those things we got to kind of put a pin in and just see where it goes. But like I said,
it would be wild if they used the new ones from last year.
No. If they're gonna use them, it would have to be the ID. It has to be the IDW versions, which are it's dark. Well, since you've already read The Last Ronin, so
I mean, there's no way that they would use that. I forgot. I keep forgetting what the title's called.
I gotta figure out how you be reading these things, but that
I have my sources, my outlets.
Okay, sources and outlets. With that being said,
now Thunderbolts movie.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry.
This.
I'm sorry. I'm just stuck on the fact that he read The Last Ronin, and I'm trying to figure out how. But yes, Joe, thank you so ever so nicely as I try to bail myself out of a parental issue. Thunderbolts. Everybody did confirm that the Thunderbolts is the official title. However, it's Thunderbolts with an asterisk. He has sat there and said, "We will not tell you any more about that until the film comes out." So, Joe, you being the Thunderbolts fan here, how do we feel about this?
I'm telling you, there are two teams in this. There's the team they're giving us, and then there's the actual Zemo Thunderbolts are going to make an appearance. Maybe not the entire cast, but we're probably going to get at least 2 or 3 staples. Like either we have the technology to pull off Atlas. Yeah. We can easily do Songbird these days. And then we can probably do Mark V pretty easily, Beetle Mark II or Mark V pretty easily along with Zemo. But like this Thunderbolts thing, it's going to be the cast they give us, and then something's going to happen. I don't think they're going to kill them off, mind you. Like that cast has too much star power, but we're definitely getting something to where one team is the Thunderbolts, and then another team is also the Thunderbolts.
Fair enough. Kira, Chris, you guys thoughts?
Go ahead, Lady Mandalore. I got a theory.
I don't know anything about the Thunderbolts. I'm not gonna hold you. All right.
So quick rundown here. The Thunderbolts was when Onslaught killed the Avengers of the Fantastic Four. Baron Zemo put into place of getting supervillains to masquerade as superheroes to gain the trust of the public in an attempt to take over the world. However, the team he assembled actually enjoyed being superheroes and have thus reformed. So the Thunderbolts have since then gone on to become either a government agency of government-sponsored superheroes that have either been led by Norman Osborn or Luke Cage.
Okay, so hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Chocolate Milk Dead Daddy is officially done with evil. We also have, I'm sorry, also known as Mike Coulter, to his mama and his friends. He's done with that. I was thinking of all of those really, 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 really badly done Sony movies that were trying to form the Sinister Six. So what if they actually pull this off and get all of them to come in together?
I mean, that's been done before. I mean, half the Marvel universe has been a Thunderbolt at one point or another. Doom is a Thunderbolt now. So
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the final issue of the current version of the Thunderbolts, Bucky made Doom a Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess all right.
So much.
Look, it did. Look,
Having a massive
their membership drive their membership and turnover is a rotating door.
yeah,
Very
They can
much.
come in and out as they please. The only thing that's ever been consistent past the Baron Zemo era is Ghost being on the Thunderbolts. And we've already established Ghost in Ant-Man 2. We've established Bucky, who's now been leading the Thunderbolts twice. Red Hulk has been a leader of the Thunderbolts. And like I said, Luke Cage was the third longest leader of the Thunderbolts. It was first Hawkeye, then Baron Zemo, then Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So here's my theory.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very good strategist. He is good at strategy.
Here's my thoughts. Something that was possibly said from various sources that I've gathered is that Thunderbolt Ross wants Sam to create the new Avengers. Sam pretty much states, "How do I know we're not going to have the same problem as before?"
That kind of goes into. You beat me about half a second on that.
So the asterisk could very well be Dark Avengers.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny that you did talk about that, because that was actually the other thing, because footage was shown at CInemacon. They did actually show first Captain America Brave New World, where the scene that Chris Fury just said was the scene that they showed between Anthony Mackie's character and Harrison Ford, who is playing Thunderbolt Ross, where they pretty much said, because again, if you can find them, I'm not saying where you can find the footage. I am not going to say where you can find it. All I'm going to say is Google is your best friend. If you want to see the footage there, because we're not going to play it, because we're not going to get banned. Let's just say,
I'm sorry. You're saying this after
I'm the man of the wall. I don't reveal the information until I know for sure I can get away with it.
We're not getting banned, but we're going to try and play the whole Spider-Man.
The funny part is we actually, the funny part is we actually won that dispute. They actually dropped it. Yes, we actually won that dispute. I'm going to tell you about that. We actually won it.
It's back Wilson I got. Wow.
So, the fact that we won that dispute, because again, we shared it from Sony's actual site, which is funny because Sony was the one that copyrighted it, but that's neither here nor there. But yes, for CinemaCon footage, again, we're not going to tell you where you can find it. You can go out there and find it. I will say it exists because some people have wonderful smartphones. But that being said, the Captain America scene that Chris did describe did happen between Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie's character, where Thunderbolt Ross did want Sam to reform the Avengers. Sam says, but what if we do something? What if, you try to get us to do something we don't agree with? And like Chris said, could lead to where we have the Thunderbolts as option B. But that was the scene they showed there for Brave New World. They also did show 9 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, we're not going to tell you where you can find it. Google is your best friend. However, from what was said, about Deadpool Wolverine, the stuff that they did show, it was a lot of laughter. Everybody enjoyed it. And apparently everybody got a kick out of seeing Wolverine in full costume. So you do actually get to see I forgot his name already.
Hugh Jackman.
Thank you.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman's character. We get to see him in full Wolverine costume, or I should say the crowd there did and loved it. So we do know that footage was seen for Brave New World and Deadpool Wolverine. Just really quickly, guys, are we still on both though? I mean, obviously we're on the Deadpool Wolverine train. The better question is, are we still with Brave New World with Captain America, with Sam Wilson taking on the Captain America role? Are we still as hype about it, or are we
Sorry.
No.
I couldn't help it. It was a door open.
It was in my head too. I was trying not to sing the tune as I was saying it, so you kind of beat me to it. But no, I mean, the fact that they are using Brave New World possibly as a vehicle for the Thunderbolts, does it seem like it's a possible link, or are we reaching?
No. I'm always looking forward to this.
Okay, because I could ask about Deadpool Wolverine, but let's be honest, it's Deadpool Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds has yet to give us a disappointing Deadpool movie. So
my only complaint is we keep alluding to the Serpent Society, and we actually filled them this time, and they get cut again. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised if the giant Marvel thing we're leading up to is the Serpent Society, actual Serpent Society.
That would be a nice apology.
I'm sorry, it's just Joe's mentioned the services, and then so it's a Deadpool thing.
Yeah,
it's literally a Deadpool throwaway line. Like, oh, those, you don't have to worry about those guys. Like, they're in the background.
It's almost like they never make it off the Marvel editing floor.
Yeah,
this that bad. But no,
Seth Rollins went through all that Serpent Society dressing and didn't get to wear it to WrestleMania.
Damn. That is true, but no, it's just the fact of just out of CInemacon, and just that for fact, like I said, Disney seems to have things in place with Brave New World. However, like I said, Armor Wars, Ironheart have all been done. We just don't know where they're at this point in time. But before I get to Transformers, because that's the last 2 bits of news we have before we get to our comic pools, this was one I did not see coming out of CInemacon. Gladiator 2. The Ridley Scott movie from so long ago that starred Russell Crowe as Maximus. One of my favorite movies. And I've said this, I think I said this to Joe maybe a year and a half ago when they announced that Ridley Scott wanted to do a Gladiator 2. How? The guy kind of shuffled off the mortal coil a little bit. I think he was done, even though love the scenes. Come to find out, where they finally give a synopsis for Gladiator 2, that it's actually going to be following the child, Lucius. So here's basically what happens. Lucius is now a gladiator himself and recalls Maximus' last stand against Commodus. He is now seen in the Colosseum battling vicious baboons and another gladiator riding atop a rhino during the filming that they showed at the CInemacon. Here's the other crazy part. The cast of Gladiator 2: Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn, and Connie Nielsen. How in the entire frack did you get Denzel Washington signed onto this?
He likes Shakespeare, and I can see.
And he performs it very well.
Yeah, I can see.
I mean, Pedro Pascal, I can kind of see that. The man's and everything. I'm not knocking that. But the fact you get Denzel's character, and Denzel's character is the guy running the fights in this movie. So I can only imagine. Again, this is the reason why I'm a little bit intrigued, because you somehow give us a story from, let's see, the original Gladiator was in 2000, so 24 years later. you come out with a sequel. Are we looking forward to this, knowing we have that information, or is it like we're gonna wait till we see a trailer?
For one, Denzel's in it. He's one of my favorite actors. I need to see how this performs. And two, yes, I want to see the trailer. I'm not waiting for the trailer. I want to see the trailer.
Okay.
I would have called it something else, though. Like, give it a tagline or something. I
mean, Gladiator 2 was just, I mean, that's kind of a little on the nose. But what about you, Kara?
I don't know. Okay. Okay. I'm very neutral about it. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. I don't have enough information.
You want to withhold judgment till you see a trailer?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit past that too.
Oh, okay. So a little bit more than a trailer. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Joe, what about you?
So is he pulling a Monty Python and just telling people he's not dead yet?
No, but I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, reading the synopsis of this, it does intrigue me a little bit because, again, I know Pedro Pascal and Denzel Washington both on the screen at the same time. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
But to see the story that they're trying to pick up 24 years later, I'm not gonna lie. For a director that hated Marvel movies, I want to see what he does with his own genre of a sequel. It's like watching Martin Scorsese do another Godfather. Should he do one past 3? Probably not. Should Ridley Scott eat some humble crow? I would like to say I hope not, because I'm a fan of the original Gladiator. I want to see this one do well. But again, without a trailer, it's kind of hard to make that decision to go to movie theaters. But that's just me.
I'm just going to be like everybody else. I want to see what a trailer, because I have no idea how you continue this story. Like, I really don't.
I mean, technically, Rome didn't fall. So unless this is the fall of Rome, which would be interesting if this is the fall of Rome. But again, we can always withhold it until we get a trailer. But the last 2 bits that we have, guys, for CInemacon, because like I said, it was a lot. Go ahead, you can sing it.
Robots in disguise.
I'm like, you don't, sir. You can fly your flag proudly, but if you're gonna sing it, you have to sing it in the right. You gotta sing it in the right tone. You gotta be proud. Swell that chest up. Sing with your chest.
Oh, no. I'm getting it.
D sharp. D for Decepticon.
Oh God! With that being said, Transformer and the G.I. Joe crossover movie, which was teased after Transformers: Rise of the Beast, is going to be released in theaters in 2025 or 2026. No details about the crossover movie have been released. They said it will follow what happens in the ending scenes. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Rise of the Beast, his character at the end does come across a secret organization that is also known as G.I. Joe. This also means that somewhere along the lines, if you've been following our podcast, me and Joe have been following the Transformers Duke and Cobra comic books.
The Energon universe, yeah.
Thank you. That have been following the Energon universe, which already has the crossover in place. So again, this is news, but not really news that we know a movie is coming. But if it is coming in 2025, we're probably going to wind up seeing a trailer sometime near the end of this year or beginning of next year. But again, I know I like Rise of the Beast. Joe, I believe you said you liked it. Chris and Kira, I think y'all liked it as well. Are y'all surprised by this? Are y'all surprised by this news, or surprised there's going to be another 1 or 2 years and wait to actually see this movie?
I was surprised people there was responses like, I didn't know this was happening. I'm like, you lose short attention span. What is wrong with you people?
I have a bold prediction.
Go for it.
We will get a headmaster in this movie somehow. Probably via Cobra.
As long as
I can see that. But again, I was like, I get it. 2026. I'm hoping 2025, but the way movies are going, I would like to see that. I would like to see trailers, which again, CInemacon could have gave us more trailers. I mean, if you're going to drop news like this, give us a teaser, something. I mean, Peter Cullen could have came by and gave a speech. Every time that man gives a speech, I feel like I want to fight Decepticon personally. But again, you could have gave us something, but I'm not mad about that. But the other news that we got, guys, that we are getting another Transformer movie. Yes, sir.
I have something to say about this movie.
I apologize. Go ahead.
So I was talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about what they're gonna do for this.
Okay. What do you think they're gonna do? Because remember, this is G.I. Joe and Transformers.
So I was wondering if you know how what's his name combined with Mirage? I forgot his name. Noah or something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like Snake Eyes will combine with the Samurai guy.
Samurai Guy's not part of this continuity.
Yeah, he's not part of it, dude.
No.
This is kind of rolling back to almost G1 status.
Okay,
Well,
so here's how you look at this, Chad. In the one you're wanting, Unicron is the Earth. In this new continuity, which we're in there, Unicron is his own individual planet again. That's how you remember which movie is which.
But again, it wouldn't be on a possibility, like I said. With this crossover, we don't have a lot of detail. So your theory might be right about some things, just different Autobots.
Because he said they're probably not going to do that because of like some racial something.
It's racial something?
Yeah.
Not like Michael Bay, where you had two Chevy vehicles cussing all the time.
Yeah, those guys as well.
You had two. I'm sorry, you had two Chevy vehicles that were painted obviously, had spoiler rims, and talked black.
Yeah, he told me that they're probably not gonna have those. Like, they're probably not gonna be in any other Transformer-related movie at all.
Possibly, but that probably will explain the next one then, because I don't think you heard about this one.
I did.
So, oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what? No, I'm gonna put you on Front Street. So, tell everybody about what Transformers 1 is about then.
So it's basically about what happens in the golden era of Cybertron.
It got you.
Keep going. This is perfect. Keep going.
It's all animated, and it has Alita 1, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Orion Pax in it. Those are all the characters that Uncle Garen told me about. And it's set before the war.
I am so proud of you. You're
exactly one.
I mean, you knocked it. You're great. That's a great description. Yes, Transformers 1 is basically a story in which we are seeing before the war on Cybertron. You're exactly right. Even to the point to where you see Megatron and Optimus Prime actually, casually still being friends.
Best friends.
Yep. So, So,
I
Brian,
wonder what continuity they're going with.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I want to point this out as well. Brian Tyree Henry will be the voice of Megatron in this animated movie.
I cannot wait for that.
So it's gonna be that. But what are you gonna say, Joe?
I wonder what continuity they're going from, because there's multiple continuities of this. There's the Megatron being part of the mining guild, turned gladiator in the pits of Kaon, while Orion Pax is merely a security guard. There's another continuity where both Megatron and Optimus, Orion Pax is already gone, and Optimus Prime is, they're both senators, and Megatron is slowly leading the underground forces. I really do wonder, because that it doesn't change too much for the Autobots, but it dramatically shifts what the Decepticons are about. Because the IDW continuity, the Decepticons were about fair treatment and equality, because the ruling government was, whatever your ult ability is dictates what your life is going to be like. So Megatron got stuck with the drilling mode, original tank drill mode for his alt mode. So he was immediately assigned a miner. His best friend, which started the whole thing, the rabbit going down the hole, was unjustly murdered by a pair of cops in a diner. and that started the revolution. Like even Soundwave was like, "Look, we're following you, but we want peace ultimately."
Yeah.
And
Chris,
Megatron's initial battle cry was "Peace through tyranny."
that's true. Chris, your thoughts?
It's a lot of Transformers content out there.
Yes.
It's a lot of, and I'm not mad at it. But it's very interesting that Helmsworth is going to be playing a young Optimus. I want to hear that voice to see how that works. And Brian Tyson Henry, dude, just do what you got to do, because I ain't saying you haven't disappointed me in anything you've done. It's just like, so keep doing it. So it's stuff like that. So just waiting.
So I was watching Transformers Prime last week, and there was one episode where Optimus Prime gets turned back into Orion Pax. So him and Megatron are basically still best friends. Before all of that stuff happened, and then when Optimus Prime gets hooked up to this machine, we get to see all of his memories of what happened before the war. Basically, a summarization of the Golden Era, and it shows Alita 1 in it, but briefly. Like you can barely see her. She basically burned.
So you think that she'll actually show in Transformers 1 then?
I mean, she is in Transformers 1, but she's probably gonna have like a greater role.
Fair point.
As like.
That is what is known as the aligned continuity, which actually comes from the 2 video games that lead into Transformers Prime.
Wait, what are they?
They're the High Full Moon Studio ones.
Oh, you had to go back and find. I think it's War on Cyber, not War on Cybertron, but
I played.
War for Cybertron's one of them.
Yeah,
I like War for Cybertron.
Okay. Kira, any thoughts on Transformers? I don't think she might have.
I just came back. Sorry, I got cold. I'm waiting to see it. I'm gonna go see it. I'll pay money.
Fair enough.
I want to see it.
I think we all want to see it. Well, before we get to our comment pool, guys, I know Chris, you have a extensive day, sir, because you have a mission at the con that you're going to be at. But as you're needing to get ready for that, sir, I'm gonna let you have the floor, so let the people know where they can find you.
So you can find me, your favorite man on the wall, the only man on the wall, Chris Fury, at Blurred's Eye View. Go follow us on IG, Instagram, or IG, TikTok, Twitch, all of that great stuff. We are back Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We just started our new season last Tuesday. Skipped a day because I've been at Fan Expo Cleveland, so we'll be getting footage of that and talking to some really dope people. Not so much to celebrities because they have a different dynamic, but that's okay because I ran into some dope people today, one of them being Stephanie Williams, who was in person today. So we had a nice talk. So we'll be getting a part 3 interview for Stephanie. So there's that. And since it's my birthday this weekend, I treated myself. It took a while. I finally found the one I was looking for. I'll tell the story in a second, but Kira, you'll like this. You'll like this. You know, it's a reveal. So first off, it took me a minute, but by chance, I was able to.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
And you, that's the first piece.
So, this is $100. It was $100, and battle ready, battle tested. You can spar with it and everything.
Wait, let me see the handle. Ooh,
nice. And this is the crazy part. So
yeah,
it makes noise and everything. So here's the crazy part. This was in a mystery box.
Oh, I know who. I think I can't remember the name of the.
There was, I think it's DX Sabers.
Yeah, DX Sabers. Yeah. That's good shit.
Mystery box, and he said, "Look, the force guide you." And I almost went to the far right, but something said, "Nope, go to the left." And he said, "Yeah, nobody's picking these over here. You open it up, please put it together for me." First color that lit up, blue. I'm like, I picked well. Nice. He's like, but you could cycle through them. You cycle through them, and I'm like, and there it is, purple. Uncle Nick / Mace will love the choices I've just done today. So yeah, that's my birthday gift to myself. I needed that. I seen that. I'm like, oh, I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. I got a show to do. So yeah, there's that. We'll be back Tuesday, but like I said, go show your support on the YouTube channel. Go check us out on Always Press Record through Roku devices. Follow us through all the things. Blurred Station. Go sign up. Show your love, show your support. We'll be launching really soon. We have some news coming down the pipe right now, probably before the end of next week. So stay tuned. But until then, I'm gonna let Spartan have the floor. This is his shuttle today. I'm gonna take mine back to the ship. Get some rest. Because piece of advice. This isn't just con, and this is not just con etiquette. Wear comfortable shoes.
That too. You're gonna be walking. If you're gonna be walking some miles,
you will be
walking
walking
in New York.
Concrete. Understand, you need comfortable shoes.
Yes.
New Balances and Skechers are your bestest of friends, and there's nothing wrong. They got Snoop versions of Skechers now, so go get those. So. Look at that free advertisement I gave Snoop Dogg. He didn't need it, but
he gonna roll with it though. But yes, sir. But thank you again, Cap, for joining us. Happy early birthday, sir.
Thank you.
With that, because you have a mission. Because I have a feeling that you are going to be very successful tomorrow. But I think you have an ace up your sleeve you don't want to tell nobody about. I completely understand. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens.
I will say this. That mutant ability of mine.
I'm gonna need to start bidding lottery.
I didn't expect it, but we got some news through those who don't know. I live in Cleveland. We got news through the Siegel and Schuster Society. I can't say as too much what, but it's something big, and it has nothing to do with filming Superman in Cleveland. It's something else.
Can I just pick your X-Men name?
Huh? You said what?
Can I just pick your X-Men name now?
My X-Men? Hey.
We'll just call you Headline.
Hey, I'll take it because I don't know. I said, hey, whatever this gift is, I'll roll with it. But so I'll be going to get some information on that tomorrow morning. So I got to be there bright and early and be front and center to catch some of that information. So stay tuned. Big stuff.
Well, sir, we're gonna let you go ahead and roll with that. But again, good hunting. I look forward to see what you're gonna come up with. But thank you, sir, for being on. Again, as always, you were always welcome. And like I said, I'm if it's what I think it is, I am looking forward to this. I am looking forward to the news that you're gonna be presenting. But but before we get to our comic pools, guys, to let you guys know that we always want to show love to Rick's Comic City. Again, Rick's Comic City, Nashville's #1 place for comic books, 6 years running. You can definitely check them out at Nashville, the location in Nashville and in Clarksville. Of course, check out rickscomiccity.com. You can basically get your comic books, your hardcovers, your anime, your mangas, collector's items, pretty much everything there in pop culture. They have it. Definitely, we go down there and let them know the guys at Get Bit sent you. It does not get you any discounts, guys. But again, you see our handsome mugs playing on their televisions. We want to show them love because they show us love. So definitely check them out. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Support your local comic book stores. Support your local libraries. They are the last places to where you can actually get the experience. Note I said, I didn't say books. I didn't say comics. I said experiences. Experiences that you can get that you will not get in the Barnes & Noble. You will not get at Amazon. At the same time, it is experience that you can take others to and have them experience the joy of actually getting a comic book or a manga or a Funko Pop or just anything. And again, support them because they need our support. Amazon and Barnes & Noble will be fine. Trust me. But your mom and pop stores will not be. And also, kids, we also say this at Get Bit all the time. Read the banned books. We cannot tell you how many times, and you're not going to understand this now, but once you become adults, that at some point in history, They put books away they don't want you to read. Kids, read the banned books. There is something there that you should know that they don't want you to know, but you'll be better off for it. So, that being said, guys, support Rick's Comic City if you are in the Middle Tennessee area. If you are not, support your local comic stores, support your local libraries. You will miss them when they're gone. So, with that being said, guys, we're getting to our comic pools tonight. So, Joe, just let me know when you're ready, and we will go from there. Because I got a bone to pick with a few of these, especially Amazing Spider-Man. But I'm gonna hold my beer till we get to that moment. But go ahead, sir.
But we both know why I put that on the list.
Yeah, we know. Go ahead.
We got Action Comics number 1064. This is the start of the House of Brainiac series. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Rafael Sandoval, colors by Alejandro Sanchez. The long and short of this kicks off the big Superman event, where Lois goes on a jog and then hallelujah, it starts raining men. Unfortunately, all these men are Sarkeesian, meaning it's raining Lobos.
A lot of them.
And then Brainiac is also there. But really, this is the big Brainiac event that Joshua Williamson has been alluding to pretty much this whole time. I enjoyed this because Joshua Williamson does not forget that the Superman family exists. That was my biggest issue when the previous writer on it started writing and then started taking away the Superman family and started making it Superman only. As we recall, I said I read Superman for Superman. I read Action Comics for everybody else.
But it was a good story that they are doing the next event being House of Brainiac. So this was a really good issue. I will give it that.
This also leads into Absolute Power, the Amanda Waller big summer event that's trying to counter Marvel's first blood hunt thing. So there's that. Next up, we got Green Lantern. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Zemeckis and Amake Nahulafan, with colors by Romulo Ferrado Jr. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, her. I thought you were saying that for me trying to pronounce that name.
You try to pronounce that name. I feel like a sneeze, or that's like a sneeze on my end.
So, as much as I dislike the book for being Hal Jordan centric, I did really like this issue because Jeremy Adams is getting the band back together. We are getting Simon Baz. We are getting Soldier Mullins. Kyle makes an appearance. Heck, they even bring up Larfleeze in this. And it's been a good chunk of time since anyone's mentioned Larfleeze.
Yeah.
They did need to bring back Teen Lantern, though, but that's just me. But we are starting to see the bigger picture of what's going on in this. I'm not going to spoil too much. I'm going to keep it can, but so this book is now starting to become the Green Lantern book I want to read. Just because it's less about Hal, more about the core Lantern group, which is what I always want from a Green Lantern book.
Yeah.
The Lantern Corps is a core. It's a group of people. It's not just one person.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad as far as this issue. It's just, it felt a little long just telling the story of just bringing Hal in with the other Lanterns. And then it's like the whole thing with his ring, which they really didn't, I'm not going to say not covered, but it's almost like they're keeping it a secret. But it was just, it just kind of had a long syndrome with this issue, but everything was still okay. And we might have a slight delay.
Invincible Iron Man number 17. This is written by Jerry Dugan.
No, go ahead.
Art by Jerry Dugan. Guest starred Pat Zecher. Guest artist Pat Zecher with colors by Brian Valenza. Fei Long just finally realizes Orcus is not out for his best interest and it's only in the interest of the machines. Iron Man is starting to feel the effects of being surrounded by constant Iron Sentinels, and then his darling wife sends the best possible help she can in Magneto.
The fact that you sent Magneto to save him was still funny. And the fact that how he was in, it's like, hi, your wife sent me. If that is not just, I understand that you saved me from ultimate death, but sir, did you have to say it in the condescending tone that you are? He's like, your wife sent me. It's like, Emma has saved.
I really do love that Emma and Tony are married. They do suit
don't
each
get me
other.
wrong. Yeah, I mean, they have been good for each other, but Emma is just like, can you please go save my husband? he's not meant for this fight. Can you please go save him? Just damn.
Pretty much. Thinking of which, Resurrection of Magneto #4. Or as I like to think about it, that time Magneto brutally murdered most of Orcus.
While having an ethics discussion. He had an ethics discussion while picking out a helmet. Sir, you are literally.
I mean, if you have to, he color-coded alignment. He color-coded alignment his helmets. Purple's chaotic evil, white's lawful good. The black helmet is chaotic neutral.
While tearing apart security guards, you were having a discussion over what helmet to go with.
You gotta be fashionable.
Yeah.
I mean, there's fashionable, but it's like, my God,
also,
sir.
I think this is just the artist rendition.
Fair.
I think this is just the artist rendition, but I think he's also a little younger.
Yeah, they did draw him younger. I'm just tripping off the fact that 3 helmets. Like, this whole issue was just like, do I go with the original? Do I go with silver? Or do I go with the redraw?
I will say this. I did feel bad for those 4 guys who were just trying to do their job. They didn't deserve to become meat spheres.
You knew who you were working for.
Pretty much. I mean, that kind of goes with the territory. You could wind up being a meat pole.
Yeah. The X-Men know that they could die at any moment in time, and they're the good guys.
This is true. All right, so this is the reason on the cover is the only reason we're looking at this book, people. If you know by now, it's Ben Reilly, so we're going to take a look at what's going on in the amazing world of Spider-Man. 3 episodes from now has already been spoiled for everybody because Marvel just can't keep their mouth shut. Apparently, in this book, Ben Reilly is teaming up with Goblin Queen in order to get some stuff back. Spider-Man is trying to save Betty Brant. We're only looking at this because Ben Reilly's in this. I'm assuming they're going to fix Ben Reilly here because the big reveal for episode 50 is Peter's going to become the new Green Goblin himself, known as Spider Goblin.
Chasm and Hallows Eve. 2 characters that didn't, you know what? Let me leave that alone because some people do like Chasm. Some people do like Hallows Eve. For reasons beyond my comprehension, but to each their own.
Because Hallows Eve's solo book was actually good. It was better than it had any right to be.
Let's go with that.
The other reason we're reintroducing Ben is about to get his own solo series with him and Kane again. So there's that. Again, we would not be looking at Amazing Spider-Man if it was not for Ben Reilly. I just want to check in and see what Ben's doing. I think he's getting 2 more issues, and then this kicks off Goblin Spider.
Makes sense.
This is written by Zeb Wells. Art is a guest artist, thank God, because the art was actually decent, by Todd Knock. Guest coloring was Sonia Oback. Good job on the coloring as well. So there was that.
Yeah, Miss Final Max, and then they already
Ultimate X-Men, written and drawn by Peach Momoko.
I was gonna say Mr. Fallmax had a point about it. I mean, he had a point about the fact that they did do
They
it in
did,
the book,
in fact,
but
do
it's
that.
yeah,
Golden Frieza.
Golden Frieza. Where do you get Golden Frieza from? Where you got that from? I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is Ultimate X-Men #2, written and drawn by Peach Momoko. Aside from this being a gorgeous book, this is May on the cover. May is the new. She is not Storm, but she is Storm. She is actually in this universe's Storm's apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
She has powers of a lesser magnitude to Storm, so Storm is her active mentor. She is. This whole episode is getting introduced to May, learning how well she interacts with Hisaka, while we are still getting some really weird Junji Ito demon possession stuff going on,
Yeah.
involving not quite the Shadow King, and definitely introducing the not quite Charles Xavier with Paper Cup Cerebro.
Yeah. It's weird. It's
At
almost
least I
like
think that was the version of Charles. It was weird.
yeah. I'm starting to kind of wonder about Ultimate X-Men at this point because they're kind of going a different direction, but I'll give the next issue because maybe it was just a one-off. Like they tried to do some things differently. It just I don't think really hit the mark, but we'll see what happens in the next issue. It's just that this one was a little off to me.
What was that noise?
Moving on over, we got Grimm #16. We have not checked in on Grimm in quite a while, but this is written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Flaviano and cards by Rico Renzi. Basically, we're just getting the story from the priest who is currently helping the main core crew as they prepare to start taking on the original sin, as that has slowly been corrupted along with the rest of the world by the original sin. And only the main character, whose name escapes me, we have really not checked in this book in a while. As she has her father, Scythe, is the only one that can personally take out the original sin. Good book, good art. We need to check in on it more so we can remember character names. That is actually on me. It's just been such a long time since we looked in on it. Then rounding out the night, we got Transformers #7. This does have a new artist because Daniel Ward Johnson cannot draw and write the book all on his own. However, George Corona does do very well with imitating his art style. And Mike Spicer is the colorist. We get to learn how voting leadership works in the Decepticons. And honestly, if we did this for our democratic voting, I'd be it for it.
Yeah, but I don't think we can really do dismemberment as a way of keeping people ahead of things. Well, why do you do that for, Kira?
I'm just saying you don't necessarily need
all
of
Starscream knew what was going
as president.
I'm just saying dismemberment by voting is not the problem. I don't think at that point you just have the purge, but I get it. You have the purge by voting at that point. But no, this issue was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't see it. Never thought I'd see Soundwave and Starscream go head to head, but not mad about the ending to this. This was definitely interesting.
I love that his whole premise on why he doesn't spare Starscream is because Starscream kicked Ravage like 4 issues ago. Like, no, I'm not sparing you. You kicked my cat.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, give me your core. We're going to use that to repair Ravage.
Yep. It was still
yes,
weird.
Chad.
He had a John Wick moment. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jed.
So what is this? What is this series about? What's the Transformers series about?
So this Transformers series is set up in the Energon universe. So technically, this is involving humans as well as G.I. Joe. But for the moment part, this story is basically based on the fight between the Decepticons and Autobots while they're on Earth. So right now, this issue is focused on Decepticons. Hence why you see Starscream and a bit of Soundwave.
That's Soundwave.
Well, pieces of him.
What did you do?
Ew, not to spoil it, but I'll tell you after this podcast what happened.
Oh, okay.
I can't spoil it. I won't spoil it, but
So
I'll tell you later.
the other
But
thing we make note of this is
Mhm.
on Cybertron, they are trying to find somebody. They keep alluding to who.
Mhm.
We lose several Autobots in the pursuit. We lose Huffer. We lose Cup to an unforeseen force. More than likely, it's Shockwave, if it's anybody, because
Yeah.
Shockwave don't play around. Elita
No.
One stumbles upon what can only be perceived as a corpse. Yeah, I don't think anyone's lighting his darkest hour anytime soon.
But the fact that everybody voted immediately is still funny to me. The immediate vote, like,
Oh God, yeah.
do you see me as leader? Yes. Really? That fast? Oh, okay. All hail,
I mean, it's
all hail
Soundwave.
Soundwave.
Soundwave, in multiple iterations in the grand scheme of things, has like pursued peace. Even Optimus Prime has like offered him a branch, and like Soundwave legitimately thought about it before saying it's like, no, we can't do this. We've been at war too long. One of us has to win. But like he legit thinks about it when Optimus Prime offers him an olive branch.
No, fair point, but that's good to know. But is that I was about to say, because I saw that your screen went off. Do we have anything beyond Transformers, sir?
No, other than me being very tired and very busy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joe, for the comm pulls of the week. As we do wrap this up, because I like to put people on the spot. So of course, I don't know why you're looking away. I'm looking dead at you. I don't know why you looked away. I'm just not gonna point you out. So as we wrap this up, Kira, do you want to let people know what you're up to and where they can find you, please?
You can absolutely find me on YouTube and Twitch under the title screen name Roomful of Blurs. This weekend, this Sunday, I will be starting our where is it? Our comic book reading club. This is what we're starting. Yeah, get my ring light out of the picture. Yeah, there we go. Definitely join us. I am going to be covering the origins of the Turtles, which is why I had so much extensive knowledge running through my brain during that segment of the show. I'm going to be covering all of the iterations, all of the origin stories. It will not take me very long, even though there are a lot of them. Come join us, learn some things about them, and then we're going to start with part 1 of The Last Ronin. That's about it. You can also find me on Blurred's Eye View, Tuesdays and Thursdays, along with Captain Fury, that just departed like 10 minutes ago, whichever. Also find me on Instagram. I post funny things. I look for new content creators, artists, musicians, and all that otherwise. And I do voice acting too. I'm trying to put myself out there more. It is hard. I hate advertising for myself because I try to do more for others. But yeah, I do things. So that is me. F the algorithm. And yeah, man, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. It's okay.
Yeah, she's also very talented in the voice acting side, so I will go ahead and say it for her. At the same time, she's very charismatic because she has got to interview a lot of wonderful and famous people. So yes, I will put you out on Front Street as the mysterious voice that's behind you as you're literally still on Front Street. So
Hi.
That is name.
You forgot who she? Well, she met a lot of people. You got to be a little more specific. She's famous.
But stop it.
Have you met Robert Downey Jr. before?
Working on it in my head, honestly and truly. I'm trying to figure that out.
But you never know. Joe, do you want to let people know what you're up to, where they can find you, sir?
I have no idea what I'm doing in April other than family birthdays back to back. Today's my actual mother's birthday. And then in 6 days from now is my aunt's birthday, who lives next door. Then after that is my uncle's birthday.
Jesus.
On top of that, I got work. I actually had to put a channel update out on Showing Guy Joe's like, look, here's the rundown. We're not going to do episode by episode this month. We're probably just going to do a full month review on Boom Boonger, and I'm learning how to edit, which I need Tafari's help on learning how to edit. on software he probably doesn't know how to work, but I do, kind of.
Mhm.
But I still don't know, so there's that. And I'm trying to play video games, but I keep falling asleep.
Don't we all? You ain't the only one.
Yeah,
You ain't the
truly.
only one.
I'm either working 5 or 6 days right now because people are going on vacations and we have to have leadership in our area. And for some reason, I'm considered leadership.
Heavy as the head that wears the crown, sir.
Look,
Make a decision.
I'm only medium management. I don't have to set aside a budget for dry cleaning yet.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So, like, you can still find me on stuff on Showa Guy Joe. It's the new Tokusatsu channel I got going on. You can follow me there. It's where these are being shown. Joe Italian last name on Twitch. Also where this is being shown. Joe Italian last name on X and Twitter. If you follow me, it's mostly good stuff. There's very little bad stuff on my Twitter, much like on my Facebook if you happen to be there. At this point, my algorithm, for whatever reason, has shifted to cooking Japanese meals in 15 minutes from normal. I don't know why. It just is right now. But it beats what's going on in the world today.
I did. Fair point. Fair point. I was gonna
Better
say
than
that.
mine.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I've been getting Uncle Roger videos, so I've just been laughing my head off.
I'll also be at the Japanese Cherry Blossom Nashville Cherry Blossom Festival tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool. All
Better
right,
than
so I guess I'm up. So first, let me thank my co-pilot, Chad, for being with me. It's always fun, and you always surprise me sometimes with the knowledge that you have. But I also have to make sure about your watch list and what you're reading because I'm trying to figure out how you watch or read most stuff that you do. But proud of you.
With the cheeseburger.
Squirtle with the cheeseburger.
It's okay. My Gator beats his Squirtle.
That being said, guys, some shameless plug before we do get out of here. Of course, shout out to my friend Von Big BZA Dot, who usually does the music and beats. You can definitely find him, Big BZA Dots, on social media. Also, shout out to Blur Station, because again, we keep telling you guys, there is a new vehicle out there, and Blur Station is it. I have been saying it for months, and I will keep continuing saying it. It's the place where all content creators should be for people of color and for blurs to actually join up. Because again, we can have our own table, much like Amazon and Netflix and Hulu, but not have to give it to people like Tubi, because Tubi is not it. Because again, the same person that owns Fox owns Tubi. At the same time, guys, wouldn't you like to be able to own your own content, but actually get a more of an exposure at the same time, own your own content? You can do that at blurstation.com. Again, $10.99 a month for 36 months. At 36 months, guys, you can possibly own a piece of Blur Station. And content creators, if you want to see your content on blurstation.com, first you have to become a member. From there, you'll be able to make your pitch to those at blurstation.com and have your content there. And here's the beauty part about it. You own it. The only thing they only want is a piece of distribution. And honestly, that's a better deal than any place else. So if you do want to join blurstation.com, of course, you can see it there at the website, blurstation.com. Please go to the Join Now button, and please also go to the Blurred's Eye View Offending membership. Select any member there. We will be more than happy to be any of us. But again, it's $10.99 a month. You cannot beat that with a stick. At the same time, we have to support ourselves in order to have our own place at our own table, and Blur Station is definitely it. Aside from myself, guys, you can find me Black_Spartan615 on all the socials, as I usually do reviews on everything I cover, including gym stuff, because I try to keep in shape, because, you know, one day he's going to grow up and he's going to challenge me for the throne, and I feel like we're going to have a Scar moment. I feel
You're
like
going to parade around with Nazi hyenas?
I feel like I'm just going to get tested one day. He might not do it now because he's lovable, he's adorable, but he's eventually going to become 14 and 15 and that growth spurt hits. I just got to say I got to be at the ready. But, of course, the link at the bottom, guys, let's make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, take you to our link to the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts. How the fact we got here, get bit off of this podcast. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. We simply cannot do this without you because, again, where your support is what we love the most. We're not asking for money, but a like and a share and a follow will take less than a second, and it's completely free. That's all we ask of you. Now, if you do want to donate, that's completely up to you. Like a church, we don't say no to free money or endorsements. We're looking at you, Nike. But again, we cannot do this without you. But with that being said, guys, as we wrap this up, because I usually do give my rules, of course, respect the cosplayer at all times. Simply put, it's starting to get a little warm now. Deodorant and bathing is a must. I cannot stress this enough as a guy that goes to the gym on a weekly basis. It doesn't take much to be clean. And of course, my third rule is the same rule that I have for everybody. In a world that we're living in, simply put, don't be a dick and we'll all be cool. But as we wrap this up, Kira, Joe, any last words that we have? Chloe, call it a night?
Watch Fallout.
Definitely watch Fallout. Joe?
Yeah.
They did just confirm the Dragon Ball Super manga will be ending after this final arc.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a nice little send-off. Although
He will. They're fighting Black Frieza, and then that's it.
That's it.
Black Frieza. I have so
Does
many
Chad not know that Akira Toriyama?
Say what?
The memes have flooded.
Wait, say Joe, I'm sorry.
You know about Akira Toriyama?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Chad, what's the question then?
Well, it's not a question, but
What's the question?
well,
Or
it's
statement?
not. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
Come on.
don't be musty this summer. No one wants to smell your toenails at Disneyland.
Okay. That's the extent I'm gonna let you say that because I feel like that was going way south. But fair point.
So there is
But-
that. Other than that, no, just go out, have fun, live life.
Yes, definitely have fun, be safe. As we wrap this up, guys, we always say, as we always say on Give It Podcast, fandoms are wonderful. We love them, we debate them, we have multiple conversations about whether right or wrong. However, what we choose not to be is toxic fan bases. We don't simply judge people because their tastes are different. We don't put them down because they may not like something you like, and vice versa. The thing about these fandoms is they're supposed to invite people. They're supposed to be warm. They're supposed to be fascinating, interesting experiences that you do share with people. So again, don't be like the guys in Star Wars or Star Trek or Pokemon or any other anime or manga or any other fandom out there. Simply put, be nice, share what you know. And like the Reverend Navy did say in his Sunday sermon, yes, he is Reverend Navy. I'm going to make that stick. It is going to be a mission of my life that he'll be known as Reverend Navy. But Reverend Navy had a point. Simply put, community and unity is great when we all can share the same passion for fandom. There is no room for negativity. And in my opinion, there's no room in being a dick. That being said, guys, thank you all for watching. She's been Kira. He's been Joe. I've been Will. That's been Chad. This has been the Get Bit for tonight, guys. We will see you next week. Same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel. We are out. Peace.
I do the Reverend Devon. Get the tables.